Welcome to Daily Car News Episode 2. I'm Kyle, filling in for Andrew, who will be taking you through most of the shows. Today we are talking about some awesome stories. The review you've all been waiting for, the new Nissan Z, is also revealed in production. Guys, finally, we've been looking at concepts for so long. And lastly, if you like automotive content, if you're a car enthusiast and you want the latest and greatest news, this is your show. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help us grow. But without further ado, let's get into the top stories of today's news. For the first half of every show on this channel, you can expect EV news. We also talk driver assistance and anything sort of current and future mobility focused. And we have an awesome way to start off this show. Rivian recently invited a few reservation holders over to their factory, which is pretty awesome in the first place because not many people outside the company up to this point have been able to experience a Rivian vehicle. So they invited a few reservation holders, fans, to come out with RJ, the CEO of Rivian, and a few other company representatives to go off-roading, drifting around, and there's been some neat videos that have come out of this. Recently, scouring the Rivian forums, I found some videos from a user named Duck Truck. Great name for a username, Duck Truck, love that. And he was out there drifting around on dirt in Rivians using a feature that I don't believe we had yet seen called off-road drift setting. You guys know I'm all about that. Sounds awesome. Can't wait to get some Rivians out here to Colorado to test. And I just love seeing more and more news come out of the company and more people being able to experience them. Hopefully we'll have one on test soon and we'll run it through the gamma of testing procedures that we always do. Next up, awesome review by Doug DeMuro here with the new Tesla Model S Plaid. It's the review I think we've all been waiting for, at least I have been, because Doug reaches a really broad audience outside of the niche EV community, outside of the niche automotive community, and his big videos can even reach just sort of general popularity. The numbers reaching millions of views on many of his videos. I expect the Plaid review to be right up there, and the initial numbers are massive on his review. This is the quickest production car you can buy today. The Rimac Nevera, of course, which we reported on last show, is not in production yet, and just the value of the Plaid is amazing. We're talking 130 grand plus or minus for something that goes 0 to 60 and nearest makes no difference, 2 seconds, and it's also a family sedan that you can put your bicycle in the back of. Pretty amazing. Great review. I won't spoil all of it, but Doug was just blown away by the acceleration, as you would expect, but I've never actually seen this level of excitement from Doug, or I should say sheer shock from him when he hit the accelerator pedal. So pretty awesome review. He did note a few quality issues on this particular car. And again, that's to be expected in sort of this Tesla world. Unfortunately, personally, I've owned 3 Teslas, never had any quality issues. I guess I'm lucky. Another Tesla story coming up right now, and this is an interesting one in an ongoing situation. We reported maybe earlier on, maybe last episode, maybe we didn't get to it, Tesla finally unlocked supercharging access for bricked or salvaged vehicles that have been in for repair. So let's say you bought a Model 3 out of auction that had a quick fender bender and it was a salvage vehicle. Mechanically, it may have been completely fine. You were never able to supercharge that vehicle after it had been considered salvage. And last week, Tesla opened it up magically. These owners, they could add their credit card and they can go and supercharge like normal. And Tesla had been saying this is a safety concern because they didn't want cars that had been damaged mechanically to be able to plug into a high power charger. Maybe it could lead to a thermal event, and that's not a great thing for the brand's image. However, it was unlocked, and I thought that was a great story. Big news for Tesla, big news for all the tinkerers. And I shared this around on my Twitter, and everyone was just so pleased. But we just received news from our friends over at Electrek that it's possible this was a mistake. It seems the salvage cars are now back to being banned from supercharging, which I think is a real shame because these really should be able to supercharge. And I would be okay with if Tesla said, hey, bring the cars in for an inspection. Maybe it costs $2,500 for them to go through the thing, make sure mechanically it's all sound. At least there is a path to getting it to supercharge. Right now, sounds like these owners are just left in the dark. And I'm not even sure if CHAdeMO charging works or the CCS adapter does. Another Tesla story. Wow, heavy Tesla news right up front, but this, I believe, is the last Tesla story, or at least we're coming near it. This one's wild. A Tesla Model X in London, or at least somewhere in the UK, was driving somehow with its, I guess, driver's side in the UK, driver's right-hand side of the vehicle, Falcon wing door up. Now, the Model X warns you with beeps and alerts and the screen's turned red if you start driving away with the doors in the upwards position. However, somehow this owner, either it was a faulty door or they were just being an idiot, I don't know, started driving down the road with their Falcon wing door up and smashed the door into one of those big London buses, the double deckers, causing thousands of dollars worth of damage, according to Inside EVs. Just an insane, totally crazy situation. You have to go check out the video. Of course, the link will be in the description to that story. Next up, one that excites me massively is Porsche is releasing a new electric concept at the IAA, or as Americans say, the IAA in Munich, Germany. We'll be visiting the show and reporting live from this in Munich in just a few days. However, this is pretty exciting. So Porsche, they already have the Taycan, of course. We know about the Macan electric. What could be next? Well, based off of some of the teaser photos that they've shared through their channels, it seems to me and Motor1.com that this could be a 718 electric. This is the Boxster Cayman variant, of course, sort of a lightweight mid-engine sports car now being electrified. We know Porsche has had plans to make an electric concept of this. I don't know if this will ever turn into a production vehicle, but I love the idea of an electric sports car because this is just, going to be a big car. There's really no true electric sports cars in the market. You could argue the Tesla Roadster back in the day, perhaps, but that didn't have quite the thermal longevity to go out for a really hard blast. So keep your eye on Porsche here. We'll be reporting on that story as it unfolds in the next few days. BYD, finally, build your dreams out of China. Very interesting EV company, automaker, known for making solid-state Blade batteries, of course, has just shipped their first batch of EVs over to Norway, delivering, their cars. So you could drive around Norway now, and apparently they're planning on selling 1,500 of their Blade battery-powered Tang SUVs in Norway. I think it's going to be a big hit. Car looks good. BYD, not as premium as NIO or Xiaopeng or Xpeng, as some people say, but I think they've taken the Chinese market by storm. They're one of the early players in this, and, this is just a really exciting story. I can't wait to go over to Europe, and hopefully we're able to test one of these in just a few weeks. I'd really love to get behind the wheel. And that concludes our electric coverage. Like every show, we have it right up front. This is the news that we're most passionate about, that we love to share. Future mobility. We'll have plenty more to come, so make sure you subscribe if you love electric cars. But if you don't, also subscribe, because we get into that stuff too. And today is a big day if you are a fan of JDM sports cars. JDM, of course, Japanese domestic market. These are your S2000s to any sort of Supra, things like this. Maybe not the Supras of today. Leave a comment if you think that's more BMW than Toyota. However, today, finally, we have seen the production version of the Nissan Z, and I believe it's going to be called just the Z. No more 350, 370, it's just Nissan Z, and I've been lucky enough to get to spend time with the concept car in person. It was awesome, and this looks just like the concept car. Almost identical in every way. I can see very little difference here. And they had a blue one, I believe, in New York for journalists to spend time with. We'll have one in person in just 2 days. So I'm excited to spend some time with that. We're actually going to have it on the racetrack. So make sure you subscribe to a great YouTube channel called Out of Spec Reviews, where you'll see plenty of coverage on that vehicle. And looking forward to getting it out on track. I don't think we can drive it, but we can ride in it. 400 horsepower, twin turbocharged, manual available, rear wheel drive, the perfect recipe for a sports car. Mercedes has announced an all-new C-Class version. This is a C-Class wagon, which we don't currently get in the US, and it's unclear if this will make it to the US, although it sounds like it probably won't. It's called the C-Class All-Terrain, and there's actually an E-Class All-Terrain version. It's basically take the wagon and then unwagonify it. You put a lift kit on there, you put some body cladding, you had all-wheel drive, of course, and this thing looks mega cool, I gotta say. I'm really into this thing. The new C-Class has a gorgeous interior, really looks like an S-Class shrunk a little bit, and pretty amazing to see they've gone for the off-roady version of the smallest wagon. I guess it should compete with Volvo V60 Cross Country. We'll see. You guys let me know. Do you prefer the normal sporty wagons, or would you go for some of these off-road sort of all-terrain version of these wagons? I guess we do have another Tesla story for you, but we've put it towards the end of the show. That's my mistake. Should be up front. The feds are opening an investigation into 11 accidents regarding Tesla vehicles on autopilot. Now, I say this all the time as a heavy user of the system. This is a driver assistance system, not a driver replacement system. And I think Tesla doesn't do a great job of explaining sort of the relationship between the electronic systems of the car and the driver, and who should be taking over when and where and what scenarios. And unfortunately, with any new technology, of course, that leads to confusion and it leads to accidents, and unfortunately it leads to deaths. So let's see what happens with the federal organizations, NTSB, NHTSA, all the acronyms you can think of. They're looking into these accidents now with a close eye. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. What do you guys think? Do you think Autopilot is a really safe system and Tesla's doing a good job sort of advocating to their customers how to use it properly? Or are they just saying, you can buy full self-driving even though it's not, and then go on your own? I don't know. Personally, I think it's a little bit ludicrous what they're doing. See what I did there? A little pun with the ludicrous word. Hey guys, if you love Tesla gimmicks and games, the Mercedes EQS and also other Mercedes models, presumably, because it all uses MBUX, Mercedes-Benz User Experience, will let you play Sudoku and Tetris and potentially other games for just $105 a year. So finally, we're starting to see other automakers other than Tesla getting into software as a service, basically, where you can pay to play. You can unlock extra rear steering as a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription in EQS, for example. And it's pretty amazing. So looking forward to seeing where these subscriptions go. Do you guys think you should just pay for the car up front and then have the subscriptions sort of baked into that price? Or do you like paying for some of the updates over time? Personally, I'm a big fan of the way Tesla does it, which is you buy the car, all the updates are free, and if you get new features, that's awesome. For the big stuff, though, you pay for it. Full self-driving upgrade, acceleration boost on dual motor vehicles, all available as an upgrade. Guys, big news here with the Ford Maverick. You guys may know what the Ford Maverick is. This is basically Ford's really small pickup truck that's going to be very inexpensive. Actually, if you convert the Model T back in the day to today's money, this is less expensive than the Ford Model T. Really incredible vehicle. Hybrid is standard. Very compact pickup truck. And we finally have seen some leaks here of the Ecoboost version, which is the 4-cylinder turbocharged spicy one with the towing pack. We now have a glimpse as to maybe the consumption numbers by EPA. They look good, but not amazing. It's rated at 22 in the city and 29 on the highway. Take that with a grain of salt. It's not been confirmed by Ford. This is just early reports, and we'll have to see. I think the hybrid one, though, the base one, something like very low, I think it's $19,900, just under 20 grand MSRP. That's going to be the one a lot of people are going to go for. It's really going to be able to mobilize the masses in inner city use. I think it's a transformative vehicle, and personally, I think Ford is riding the wave. They are doing a lot of great things. And another company that's doing a lot of great things to me personally, I think, because I'm just a big fan, is Land Rover. And you guys know Land Rover for the longest time have had supercharged versions, 500 plus horsepower with their 5-liter V8s for over, I want to say close to 10 years, over 10 years. We're getting right up there. I think it's actually been full 10 years using this 5-liter V8. And there's a new Range Rover Sport coming. And of course, there's a Range Rover Sport SVR that's going to be launching. So we've seen this testing out and about now and looks hot, big flares, big exhaust pipes. The person who spotted it said that it just sounded awesome, and really looking forward to seeing this vehicle out there. It's sort of the anti-EV vehicle, if you will, but it's one of those things you can climb a mountain and shred a racetrack and have an awesome thundering supercharged V8 under the hood. I just love that so much. And our last story of the day is actually kind of a sad one, but it's kind of funny to laugh at. I hate to say it. A Ram TRX driver, according to thedrive.com, sunk their 702 horsepower Hellcat-powered Ram TRX, literally looking like it's just in a lake. I'll attach a couple photos here courtesy of thedrive.com, who obtained the footage. And look, money can't buy smarts here, folks. This guy somehow, I guess, tried to drive through a puddle. It looks like you could do a little bit of off-roading. It looked like flooded, and sounds like he just waterlocked the whole thing. So that's a shame. Really cool truck. I've been able to spend some time with the TRX. Absolutely love it. Mega bonkers truck. But it can be flummoxed by a little bit of water. And that's your news for the day. Episode 2. Expect this show to evolve and get into the groove over the next days and weeks and months to come. We appreciate you sticking with us early on as we go through some technical difficulties, but we're getting through it. We're going to have a blast making this show. We hope you've been enjoying it so far. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Daily Car News, on Twitter at _Daily Car News, and subscribe right here on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow for the next episode. Bye-bye.